Justin. Okay, good evening, friends and families of Merrimack and residents. Welcome to the Merrimack Parks and Recreation Committee meeting on Wednesday, June 16th on this lovely day. And this is our first live meeting in a year and a half, so welcome back. No more Zooming, and I'm delighted that we have some new members and another person to interview. And so I'm going to start with introductions, and glad to see everybody here. Way to my right, we have Julie Poole. Go ahead, Julie.
Julie Poole, committee member. Tracy McGraw, member.
Maureen Howell, senior representative.
New member, we have a new member.
Jamie Devlin, new member.
Thank you. Laura Janes, chair.
Jonathan Barkley, MYA.
Michelle Creswell, member and secretary.
And David Shaw, new member.
And Matt Kasparius, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Thank you so much. So it looks like we have a quorum, which is always helpful. We did not have a quorum in May, and so we couldn't vote on April's minutes. So do I have a motion to accept April's minutes?
I'll move to accept the minutes from the April Parks and Recs meeting.
Oh, anybody want to second that? Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll second it. All those in favor?
Now take your hand down.
All right.
Before we do that, 1 second.
Yes.
Michelle, can you just check and see whether I was actually at April?
Oh, my
I think
goodness.
you took minutes from that meeting, if I remember
I
correctly.
think April, actually, I ended up calling you at the last minute because it was TJ's birthday. So I don't think I was here,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can't motion for it.
I think you can still motion.
Yeah.
You just can't. You'll be in.
Okay, I'm an
Abstention.
abstention, but a motion. How's that?
So, yeah, it's going to, go 1 second.
Yes, take your time. Thank you.
Yep, so for April, let's see. April, Tracy, you were not here. And that is it from the crew that was here.
Okay.
So it's just gonna be Tracy for April.
Perfect. So I make do we have the motion, and all those in favor of accepting the April minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Yes, so who's a yes? Not, one,
We were
two,
there. You were there.
3, so we're gonna go 4, 0, 1.
Correct.
Correct.
And you should have in front of you May's minutes. Thank you again, Michelle, for doing that.
So for May.
Yep.
Right, so for May, it would be Laura, Julie,
Yeah, I
and
wasn't.
that's it, for those that are here, would
Yep.
be in the abstain.
Gotcha. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes? You were here, Maureen.
You moved that one, I'll second that.
I'm done.
Sure, go ahead. Sorry. We have a motion to
I make
accept.
a motion to accept.
Thank you.
Julie.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tracy. All those in favor of the May 19th minutes? Signify by saying aye.
So
or-
it's gonna be 2, 0, 2, 2, 0, 2, because you two are not here, correct?
I was not here, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. We got that. And top of the order is the new business of annual election of officers.
Yes, so once a year we have to take nominations for chair, vice chair, and secretary. So we'll do this one at a time. So first we'll take a nomination for chairman for the next year.
Oh, can I nominate myself?
I nominate Laura.
There you go.
Thank you, Julie.
Do
I
we-
don't mind.
Do we have a second on Tracy? Okay. Anybody else interested in chair of?
And at this point, we have a co-chair also. She's just not here this evening,
Right.
so,
Christine.
yeah, we'll do
Okay.
that.
All in favor of Laura as chair for
All
another
right,
year?
thank you, friends.
So can we all vote now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1,
Yes, she did. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so now.
Thank you, friends.
So now a nomination for vice
Chris-
chair.
Vice chair, co-chair would be Christine, would like to be co-chair with me. She is also head of the subcommittee for the dog park. So she's
So are they co-chairs,
No, I think she's technically a vice chair.
vice chair. Okay, thank you.
the chair and vice chair?
Okay, all those,
I'll nominate Christine for
Thank
vice
you.
chair.
I'll second it. All those in favor? Here we go. Look at this. 3, 6, 8. Wow. I'll get there. Okay.
And then finally, secretary.
Secretary.
Secretary for life, right, Michelle?
Anybody make a nomination for?
Should we ask first?
We should ask first.
Let's ask the reverse. Does anyone actually want this?
Well, I did offer we could rotate it, but it's much more consistent. And it makes it easier when you're not here. We could rotate it. But
I'll do code.
yeah, he's pretty good too, so, yeah. Well,
Be third backup.
she's so organized with it, it's really a breeze. Okay,
I don't mind. So just
thank you very much. A nomination then for Michelle?
Michelle.
Tracy, and I'll second that too. And we have hands on deck, so that's wonderful news. All those in favor? We got 88800. And that's it for elections, is it not?
That is correct.
Thank you. Yeah. So, coming up, because Matt really helps drive these meetings, because he is the best Parks and Rec director ever. Introduction to goal-setting meeting for August discussion.
All right, so I wanted to throw this on the agenda.
Thank you.
We have obviously several new members, potentially another one coming shortly. And so I wanted to just kind of get everybody thinking about kind of where we are, where we've been, where we're going. Now, I've been here for 7.5 years,
Wow.
and some days I go, I just got here, and other days I go, I've been here forever. You know, I don't know. But, when I got here, we were, a lot of our parks were kind of 10 years of backlog maintenance. We had buildings falling down. We had declining enrollments across, in camps because just the programs had become stale, and because the buildings looked down, they kind of looked like scenes out of horror movies, especially at Wasserman. And, we've done a lot. We've done a lot of good work over the last 7 years to kind of bring things back to life. Excuse me. In the time I've been here, we've done more than $500,000 worth of facility improvements. We've sponsored and approved 25 Boy Scout and Girl Scout projects. We got the dog park built after 10 years, and we established the revolving fund, which allows us to expand our programs. Sorry, I'm just tired. I really am. It's been a long week. And so the question is, where do we go here from here? What does the next 5 years look like? Now, we have, several projects in our capital improvement projects that we talked about in September of last year. But the question is, what are they? And are we focusing on the right areas? And so the general question I'm posing to the group tonight is just, I want you to think this summer, kind of talk to your networks and your colleagues and your neighbors, and, where do they want to see Parks and Rec go? Where do we expand? What's the burning desire? We still have significant needs for athletic fields, and we've kind of touched on it on and off as things some availability. There's the potential for fields at Pearson Road down in a couple of years. We still have the eventual relocation of the skateboard park probably coming down the road, but what else? And so again, the purpose of tonight was just to bring up the topic, to think about this summer, and so then when we meet in August, I want to kind of play that out, and what are kind of the burning desires, and kind of give us some marching orders for what's next. And so that's all I want to say on that at this point. Just it's an opportunity to kind of just put it in the forefront. I didn't want to attempt to do it tonight. I'm working about 70 or 80 hours a week right now, and so I'm kind of fried. But just I want to tackle it at the end of the summer once we survive summer, and then we'll pick it up, in August, and then realistically in September is when we start looking at the actual budget for next year, and also the capital improvement plan for next year. So August is a good time to tackle that project. So that is all I have on that.
Thank you, Matthew. You've done an amazing job over these 7.5 years on every corner, every time you turn around, and then COVID hit, which meant you guys had to scramble to change everything again and again and again, so.
Still do.
I know, and this is all new again. And after the situations we had last summer with Watson Park and all that other stuff, I think everybody's still this is a nervous time still. And take a deep breath, Matt, because we love you and you're doing a wonderful, no, I do.
It's all good.
Seriously, you're doing a great job, so hang in. Are you going to speak for the dog park this evening, Miss Tracy, or?
Puppies, absolutely.
Thank you. Old business.
Yes. So, right now, our coffers are
Sure.
$763.59.
Mike?
Can't hear you.
I am in court. Let's try that again. The coffers are at $763.59. We're looking at new ways of fundraising. We got an idea that came from Matt, and we're hoping to be able to take advantage of that. Christine and I are actually working on the application for that particular fundraiser, and we'll give you more information once we have an idea of what's going to happen with it. We have a new, I guess you could say, an in-kind type of donation from Mosquito Joe. It's a local company that's based right here out of Merrimack. And they are actually have donated to the Merrimack Dog Park tick treatment. And so the first treatment came 3 days after the town council voted to accept the donation. They came in on a Sunday morning at 5:30 in the morning, and they did both interior and exterior around the perimeter of the dog park. For anybody who's watching, to please pay attention. There are going to be 2 signs up at the dog park, either on the front or the back of those signs. It will tell you what time it's either that the treatment was given or that the treatment was dry, and it's 30 minutes after. So we want to make sure that there's no dogs or people inside the dog park until it dries. But they're going so early in the morning, I mean, you really got to want to get up that early to go to the dog park to worry about it. So we're not worried about it. Treatment number 2 just happened last Sunday. That was the 10-day treatment. And then the next treatment that they're going to do is the 3-week treatment. So that'll be 3 weeks from Sunday, which puts us to whatever the math does on that. And it'll be the same thing, first thing early in the morning. And then the plan is to see what things are at that point. At that point, usually the ticks are gone because it's too hot for them and they hibernate, but they come back. And so they're talking about restarting the treatment in August, doing the same process. So it'll be treatment 1, 10 days later, treatment 2, 3 weeks after that, treatment 3. And all of this is a donation. So thank you very much to Mosquito Joe for that. This has been a bad tick year. Our dogs were coming out of the dog park, 5, 6, 7 ticks just right there. We also have, thanks to the Merrimack Lions Club, we have a donation from them for $250 for a gift card for us to buy some supplies and much needed tools for the dog park. So we thank the Lions Club for that. The Lions Club also came out with their litter crew and helped us do some cleanup and do the puppy patrol, shall we say, to keep it as diplomatic as possible, and help us clean up some of the beat up old toys. And they have a nice litter crew that comes out and does that. So we want to thank the Lions Club for coming out and doing that as well. And I think that's it for the dog park.
Thank you very much. How many people do you think are on the subcommittee at this point, or do you see regular people?
Subcommittee of the dog park,
Yeah,
right now?
yeah, there are people.
2.
Okay, thank you. And I'm being neglectful. I didn't let Jamie or David speak for them, about themselves a little, but we can do that after the meeting. Thank you very much. All right, Matt, you're back up again.
Okay, updates. Camp opens Monday. Today was day 1 of staff orientation, so we're kind of busy making last-minute preparations to get ready for opening. Registration numbers are pretty good overall. Most of our sessions are 95% full. Technically, we're down about 10% in registrations compared to 2019, but that's also because we're not running our field trip program that we normally run for teens. It's something we may add later in the summer if we get a few more staff and we get a little more comfortable with where things are. But I feel pretty good about where we are overall. So if we were running that field trip program, that would have been another 100, 150 registrations by itself. So so we'll see how that goes, but we appear to be in fairly good shape to open on Monday. As I mentioned last month, hiring has been a struggle this year. Since we didn't open last year, we lost 75% of our staff. Normally we have about an 85% retention rate, so it was really almost starting from ground zero this year. And one of the big challenges was lifeguards and swim instructors. There was no courses offered most of last year. The few places that were offering courses last year, you had to bring a family member to sit through the entire lifeguard course and play your victim when you went in the water. And that's hard for a lot of people to sit there for 3 days and go in and out of the water for a family member, And so most of the places finally lifted that restriction in like April of this year. So there's been this mad rush of lifeguard courses because nobody's certified and everybody's short everywhere. We initially budgeted for lifeguards this year, $11.42 an hour, and that's where we'd been for a couple of years now, and couldn't get anybody. I had a waterfront director and an assistant, and nobody else. And we ended up just a week ago Monday, upped it to 15. And we're finally starting to get applications, but I've got 6 potential candidates for lifeguards right now. They're all in the process of taking their courses this week, next week, the following week. And so hopefully by 4th of July, we'll be fully up to snuff on staffing. Our main focus is obviously with the day camp because that's the greater concern. But ideally, we'd like to get, we have for the first time in 12 years funding to cover weekend lifeguards at Wasserman Park. So it'd be really nice to be able to provide that service that we had planned on. We are not doing any swimming lessons this summer. Again, same issue. There was no courses, and they're all the places that normally offer the water safety instructor courses aren't offering them because they're all focused on lifeguards. And so we're just not able to provide swim lessons this summer. We are still looking for an arts and crafts person, although I finally got an application today. I had somebody lined up, and then 3 weeks ago, they dropped out on me for a higher paying gig elsewhere. I'm also looking for maintenance help. Don't have any applications there yet. But if I can get the lifeguards covered, and then hopefully this arts and crafts person that I just got today come through, then we'll be in fairly good shape for camp. Both arts and crafts and maintenance, you have to be 18. The lifeguards, you have to be 16 and obviously certified. So that's it on camp. Right after our last meeting in May, we held our Not Quite a 5K 2.75 mile road race as part of the 275th anniversary. It went off really well. We had 113 live registered runners registered for the live race. I had another 19 runners for the virtual race in perfect weather. A big thank you to everybody who came out and volunteered. Made it look really easy and made us look good. So people really like that. We've actually done 5 races this year, as it was a nice kind of COVID-safe thing to do. So we did 4 trail races at Wasserman Park over in the fall and winter, and then this was our first kind of road race. And so it's every time we do it, we get a little bigger, a little better. So I think we're going to start doing. That's going to be one of our new areas to focus on to pull people out. We've also talked about some sort of like a running club, or, you know, kind of weekly, meet on Tuesday nights and run this route, you know, whatever, it's something like that. I'm not sure yet, but we'll work on more on that on the fall. Our first movie in the park was supposed to be last Friday, but we did get rained out. So we have a revised schedule for movies in the park. So the first new movie date is going to be Friday, July 9th, which is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And just as a reminder, we did because there wasn't a lot of movies that came out in the last year, we decided to kind of tie into the anniversary celebration. And so we picked movies that were also celebrating anniversaries this year. And so Ferris Bueller's is 35 years old this year. Finding Dory, which was supposed to be last week, has been rescheduled to Friday, July 23rd, and that movie is 5 years old. In August, on the 13th, also a Friday, we'll be doing Beauty and the Beast, which is 30 years old. I know. And then our last one of the year will be Friday, September 17th, which will be Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is 40 years old. So movies at the park will be at Wasserman Park, and they begin at dusk. They are a free event and open to everybody. And we'd also like to thank the Lions Club again for their continued support in sponsoring the series. They've done that for, I think, 6 years now. And so, again, always great great partners there. Summer concerts start up for the year next year. So next Wednesday, Friday, June 23rd at 6 o'clock down at Abbey Griffin Park. Next week's concert is our joint concert with the library. And so it's geared towards younger children. And the library kicks off their summer reading program with that event. We are down there every Wednesday night through August 11th this year. And so that's a good time, as always. 4th of July is my next task taker. So we're only 2.5-3 weeks away, whatever it is now. I don't even know anymore. We are ago and trying to quickly make final preparations. The Merrimack Concert Association typically holds a July 3rd concert at Abbey Griffin Park. This year they had both their band and their chorus director were going to be out of town this year, and so they've asked to move their concert to July 2nd, so it's going to be Friday the 2nd this year instead of on the 3rd. And that concert will begin at 7 o'clock down at Abbey Griffin Park. On Sunday the 4th, the High School Roadrunners Boosters Club will be doing their annual July 4th road race. If you go to our website, you can get the link to their website and their registration information. Typically on the 4th, the Rotary Club holds a pancake breakfast as well as the family fun day at the fields at JMU's. They had announced back in, I think it was March, they are not doing either event. I've been told the school is not letting them into the building, and you know, it was kind of like you could do the breakfast technically outside, but then if it rains, you can't cook under a tent, and so they would have had to cancel anyway. So, and then you know, the fun day they get a lot of sponsorships to make that event happen, and so it was hard to ask people for money, not knowing what things were going to be like 4 months later. So they have scrapped that event entirely for this year. They are going to be working with the 275th committee. We're working on an event for October, a fall festival type event to replace that. So, and then the parade will kick off at 1 o'clock as always from the Common Shopping Plaza. I am looking for volunteers if anybody'd like to join us down there. Tracy, I see your hand. It is on Sunday the 4th, yep. Help will be needed from 11:15 to usually about 1:15. In 2019, we had the second largest 4th of July parade in, excuse me, can't talk tonight. Second largest parade in the state of New Hampshire on the 4th, second behind Meredith, not Meredith, Wolfboro. I have heard that Wolfboro is limiting their capacity this year to 50 groups, so we have the potential to be the largest parade on the 4th this year. Right now, as of yesterday, we were at 23, and usually we're somewhere in the 60 to 80 range. So, but 2 years ago it was over 1,100 people in the parade itself. So, spread the word of submit a float. We are trying to obviously play up the birthday. Actually, one of the cool things that we're doing this year, again to tie into the 275th, is we've actually got parade balloons coming this year. Picture Macy's, not as big, but they're 12 or 13 feet tall. They're cold air versus helium, but one of which is going to be a giant birthday cake, and then the other one's going to be red, white, and blue stars. And so we're working on getting handlers and things to march with the balloons down the street for that. And then lastly, the fireworks will be held at the high school as always at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. Per request from town council, there will not be any food vendors up there this year. We do, however, have DJ Darren Roy is going to come up and play music from 7:30 to 9, just as kind of a little bit of entertainment for people that arrive early to camp out their spot. Directly up at the high school, he will be in the parking lot, kind of directly in front of the school, because that's where the power is. And again, just playing music before the fireworks. And so that is our 4th of July schedule at this point. The last couple of things I want to just throw out there, couple of shout outs. First to Movement Christian Church, who came over to Wasserman Park 2 weeks ago, with about 24 volunteers, and they spent the day helping us clean up the park, open up the cabins. These buildings have been shuttered for almost 2 years, and so we found a few surprises, and squirrels and mice and bees nests and all those kinds of good things. And so they came out and raked and shoveled and a little bit of everything, helped set up lunch tents 2 weeks ago. And then last week we had Shannon Barnes from the school board and her colleagues from Connections here in Merrimack. Connections, the company, not like a dating site. Who were here last week and again, did the same thing. They did a bunch of weed whacking up at the dog park. They did kind of final cleaning of cabins. They helped set up some more lunch tents. They did a little bit of everything. So again, thank you to both of those groups for all that work. Probably 400 hours of volunteer time somewhere in that vicinity between the two groups those 2 days. So thank you to them both. And then lastly, we have a couple of Eagle Scouts who did projects for Parks and Rec, who are finally getting their Court of Honors. First of all, this Friday, June 18th, Jay Haddad is getting his at, Jay did it was the refurbishment of the lifeguard shack, which we've converted into changing rooms and public restrooms for the beach at Wasserman Park. And then the other one is TJ Vadney's is going to be Sunday the 27th. And he built us the archery storage shed up there. If anybody's interested in coming to either event, just let me know. I will be at both. I will be at both. And I think Laura was going to try and be at least at Fridays, just in case I get held up because we're in the middle of staff training. So I'm done talking now.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, Tracy.
Question.
Sorry.
Matt, I just want to make sure, you said for volunteering for the 4th of July parade down at Tractor Supply, right, is where we
Yep.
meet? Just like we did for the Christmas parade, I
Yep.
don't know, 2 years ago?
Yep, so 11:15 to like 1:15, and we'll kind of give you your assignments down there, but I'll put you on my list, so you'll get my email when I send the email out with the details.
I was adding it to my calendar so it didn't go anywhere, but do you want us there at 11:15?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
You can add me too.
all right, great.
Thank you, Dan. As you can see, Jamie and David, it's still hands-on, and with all these changes coming up, it's really hard to always predict these things. But Matt, hang in, you're doing a great job. You really are.
It's just been a long couple of weeks.
Yeah. Are you also teaching lifeguards too?
No, well, I'm teaching CPR classes.
Oh, gee.
But I've been going to all the various classes that are offered in the area and pitching our jobs.
Yeah.
To try and, hey, you're about to get certified, come work for us.
It was interesting to see on some of the Facebooks, you know, my daughter needs a job for at least $15, you know, so. All right, moving along. Thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt? There's a lot of history here with what he's doing, including things like camp families being able to pay with a credit card. We were bare bones for a long time. Very
We were-
bare bones.
My first year,
We were
everything
bare
was done
bones.
in one single Excel sheet, but it was about 15 sheets. And so like if you made a payment here, it would populate in other
Yeah.
fields, but if you screwed something up and like
Yeah.
hit delete by mistake, you'd wipe out, you know, so like that first year is like somebody call for a tax receipt and go, okay, I think this is, there
yeah.
was just no.
And, yeah, and our town councils kept changing, but we have a pretty nice town council right now, so that's awesome. Okay, thank you very much, Matt. Maureen Hall is going to present from the Senior Citizens Club,
Yeah,
Jazz Club,
the what?
Jazz Club.
Jazz club.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we have some good news.
I heard.
You heard?
I heard.
Well, I
I'm
didn't.
not gonna tell you. That we're opening up the center the 1st of July.
Excellent.
The town has allowed us to open up
Ooh.
with, you know, certain things. We have, you know,
Exactly.
we have signs up and stuff. You know,
Distancing,
sanitizing, but the whole place is totally, we have wipes everywhere, we have hand sanitizers, so it'll be beautiful. People can't wait to get back.
I know,
So
I know.
it'll be awesome. What?
And do you have a good supply of sanitizer? Because I've got a ton. We bought a bunch last
Well,
year.
why didn't you get
And then we
together
got a
with Steve?
donation this year from the ACA, and then I got another one
Yeah.
from, somebody else. Who else gave me, I got a couple of donations this year of it too. so
Talk
I've
to
got a-
Steve,
Okay.
because he had those hand wipes too that we were using at the meeting Monday night, wiping the tables down. But, yeah, I mean, I guess
It's
we're
a
gonna have an
process.
open house at John O'Leary for a lot of people to come and see all the things that have been done, you know.
Nice.
So it's interesting. So I can't wait back, you know, to get back seniors, the senior club.
And will that be on the website? Some of these, like the open house and stuff like that?
Yes, well,
announcements
it'll be like,
Within the group?
somebody will be invited. I don't know who they're inviting, so it's not gonna be like a grand,
No,
you
I
know,
get you. I get
but they wanna have a few people to see
Sure, walk through.
all the work that was done. It's gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous, so.
That's wonderful.
All right, that's it.
Well, congratulations.
Finally,
yeah.
I'll be able to say something.
Yeah.
Well, I say something all the time anyways, but, okay, off.
It's nice to see you in person, Maureen. It's nice to see you in person, Maureen. Zoom was a kicker. We do not have Abby here this evening to recognize her accomplishments, but she was on our Parks and Rec Committee apparently since 2018 and came as a sophomore, and a remarkable young lady, very poised, and just kept us in touch of what was going on at the high school and maybe the needs, you know, what we need to be looking at. My question is, do we know if she has anybody that might take her place?
Not that I know of, but
Yeah.
if you want to make a general
Yeah,
announcement.
it was really wonderful. It's really nice to have a student rep and, on the committee to voice some of the needs or concerns or ideas from the young population. If there's anybody out there that would like that, you certainly would be great on a resume or college. And, so that's out there. She was remarkable, and like like I say, it'll be great. Yes, Tracy?
In addition to what you were just saying too, for people who are watching this, it's not just a position, it's not just a seat holder. We want to have the youth to impart their wisdom and their hopes and dreams for what the town is and what we can make it.
Correct.
And we can't cater to our youth if our youth doesn't speak up to us. So we would love to have
Absolutely.
a representative here, and again, not a placeholder, an actual representative who will speak to us and tell us what you need.
Yeah. It's a great learning experience for all of us. Matt's been very good about Eagle projects over these last years. Maybe some of those scouts would like to join us, or National Honor. Abby was in band, and just nice group of kids, and we love that. And this is a process. This is how you become involved with your community. All right, John, MYA rep.
All right. Just a brief description of our sports. So baseball season is complete. They will be hosting a tournament in July. Lacrosse is just about complete. Soccer is finishing up theirs this weekend, I believe, for rec. They do have some travel teams in the playoffs this weekend. Softball season is wrapped up. Basketball will be hosting a casual summer league at Wasserman this summer.
Oh.
So that'll be good.
Good.
Hopefully they get plenty of nice weather for it. And just an announcement that MYA will be participating in the 4th of July parade.
Oh.
We will be having a float, so
Yeah.
stay tuned.
That'll
Look
be
out
fun.
for us.
No baseball parade, but this gets right in there.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Just get the word out, who we are, what we do.
Exactly.
We're there.
John is our alternate member. Rick Greenier is the full-time member, but thank you for coming this evening. And
Thank you.
Rick is also a gym teacher at JMU's. Busy man. We all are. Lori Rothaus will be joining us next time. She had a meeting this evening, but she's taking Shannon Barnes' place at this point. I'll be quiet. And Lon Woods going on to town council. Lon Woods is usually here for our meetings, but he's a busy man on town council. Are they having their retreat soon, or did they?
They already had it.
They already had it, and I don't really know anything.
Yeah, there wasn't really
Yeah.
much of an update,
Yeah.
Anything that's
Yeah.
necessarily relevant to us at this point.
But I came to a town council meeting a couple months ago to present our annual report, and there's a lot of changes. I did not know that Eileen was no longer,
Surprise.
what do you call her? Town manager, and we have a new town manager, but that's wonderful, because Paul,
McCallie.
thank you, McCallie, was here, and most of the audience was his family, but it was a very nice tribute, and he's certainly qualified to do these things, so we wish Eileen good luck too. And any questions from any of the group, any comments, or? I know, I have your applications, Jamie and David, but your interest in coming and participating is awesome, and they're willing to serve, show up at different things, and already offered to help us. Maureen, question?
A question for Matt. Matt, do you need any help on Wednesdays?
For
I mean-
concert?
Not,
And you're all right with being
yeah, I
here
mean,
all the time?
Wednesdays are kind of fun, honestly,
Okay.
I hang out and I talk to people and I listen to music, so. But if anyone wants to come hang out, more the merrier.
No, I just thought maybe give you a break,
Yeah, no.
and, set up a table with our stuff and.
If you'd like to run camp tomorrow, well, I'll give you the keys. so.
Yeah. And if you haven't met James, he is the program coordinator. He's got a lot of energy too, but we don't want to
Yeah.
kill our staff. But thank you. I mean, he puts together the agenda for me. I mean, he makes my job easy, but I'm hoping now that things have opened up, I'm glad to be here this evening. Yes, John?
I do have another question for Matt. You mentioned you were looking for maintenance. Is that like ground maintenance, mowing, stuff like that? or
Yeah,
just like-
it's partially custodial
Okay.
maintenance almost. It's, with, COVID's still here, so we're doing a lot of cleaning. it's emptying trash, but then it's weed whacking, it's spraying poison ivy, it's repairing, minor, carpenter, loose boards, fixing shutters, that kind of stuff. You do have to be 18 for that position, but just general kind of knowledge with tools can operate basic equipment, power tools.
What time of days are you looking to have work done? Is it usually
ideally
morning, afternoon, like after hours, like?
Ideally, I'd love to have somebody like 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, but I'd take even part of that. Even if I had somebody like 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, or even if it's again Monday through Friday, that would be ideal.
Okay.
Just so because I have a part-time year-round guy, but he's only during the school year he usually only works 18 hours a week, and we've offered him more hours. He's willing to go up to 25, but he doesn't want to work more than that. And right now I don't have anybody available to clean in the afternoon, so it kind of falls on James and I and everybody else to.
And you did mention it's 18 plus, right?
18 plus.
18
yeah.
plus. And is that posted on that job
It's on-
posted?
Yep, it's on the
Okay.
website.
Do they get to drive a gator?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sorry.
Huh? You got to come to maintenance then.
Do you have a nurse and all?
I do.
That's excellent.
Yeah, we've had the same health person for
Okay.
4 years now.
And is the handicap, is the ramp is finished? I think I
It
saw
is
it
finished, yep.
paved. Yeah, it looks great.
Yep.
Looks great.
Yeah, that
And-
was Keyshawn's project.
Right. Okay, I'll see if I can come to that one too. Any comments? Nobody here? Wow. Next, we do not typically meet in July. So we'll see you in August, but we can certainly email and keep in touch with Matt, but the more the merrier at some of these functions. It gives you a sense of what's going on. A lot of people refer to the 4th of July as the candy parade, so sit at the corner of the library and hoo-yah. But it should be fun. I think and just to clarify too, the 275th is the anniversary of the town of Merrimack, so everything's like 275 to. And we'll talk about October later, but you have a group there. Do you need help on that subcommittee, or are you pretty well covered by the?
Pretty good shape. We have representation from kind of a variety of groups. So we've got the Historical Society, the
Yeah.
Heritage Commission, the Chamber of Commerce, the library,
Yeah.
Rotaries, and then we've got 3 or 4 kind of at-large citizens. I mean, you're certainly welcome to attend. We just actually met, it's funny, this committee was formed back in December, and we've been on Zoom up until this week. So we had our first live meeting Monday,
Oh,
so.
all right, okay.
But I think we're meeting, I don't even know when we're meeting next, sometime in July, after the 4th, when I can breathe again.
Yeah, breathe. All right. Do I have a motion? So the next meeting's August 18th? See you the 4th or whatever, and have a safe holiday and enjoy the weather. And the waterfront's okay, though? The water's been fine, right?
Yep, actually, yeah, first test result came in this morning, and it was
Okay.
perfect as always.
Okay. Which brings me to the other hat I have. Any updates on the waterfront waterfront property project?
No.
Okay.
For those that are new, so we were supposed to have this project done by now. It went out, we had estimates, that were formed last year. The estimate was $90,000. We had 95 in the budget. It went out to bid in March, and contractors are just so busy that the prices are skyrocketing. And so we only had 2 bidders. The cheap bid was $155,000. The second cheapest bid was $225,000. So almost double and then almost triple what our estimate was. Although wasn't limited to just us. In comparison, the DPW had a project go out to bid for the wastewater treatment plant was supposed to be 16 million, and it came back at 25.
Oh, God, I
So
didn't know
it's
that.
it's like this COVID bounce, because contractors are busy, and so they'll charge because somebody will pay it. So we're
And
working
materials.
with the engineer to retool the project a little bit, which has to then get reapproved by the state to change anything. Hopefully, the hope is to put it back out to bid in July, August, and try to get it done in the fall. And hopefully get a normal, hopefully the market calms down and we'll get a normal price. So
Thank
we'll
you.
see.
Thank you. As you know, if you know the waterfront, it's got an H-shaped dock, and the water doesn't flow like it could. So Matt came up with a great design of an L, so the water would flow out. And we have there is a lake association that's ready to do milfoil sightings, and actually they've been very busy, and the lake has been, the state has come down a couple of times already. Our volunteer group marks where the milfoil is. They go out and paddle boats and put little buoys on there, and then the state comes out with a special vacuum that goes, and they go underwater and get it, because if you just fracture the plants, they will propagate, those little pieces will propagate all over the place. So there were a lot of markers out there a couple of weeks ago, probably 50.
Yeah.
And that was a lot, and those are just our 4 paddle, they're the weed watchers. I make the buoys, and but a lot of bladderwort this year, so and that looks a lot like milfoil, but lake's in good shape so far, so that's good.
I don't
Thank
think we've officially adjourned, Michelle, or anyone.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, that's it.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, Jamie, look at that. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll be here